Let's go ahead and get started. Welcome everybody to another SiteMap Feature Friday. My name is Jeff DeHart. I am the market segment leader for facilities in the Southeast, and happy to have you here. Today's topic is how to use virtual tours in SiteMap. And so we'll go through a couple of things here just for housekeeping purposes. If this is your first time joining us, this is how Feature Fridays work. It's just 15 minutes. We're going to do a step-by-step process breakdown and tutorial. We'll give you a use case example, and then we'll open the floor for Q&A. So if this is your first time using Demio as a platform, if you have any questions you want to ask, you can type it directly into the chat. We'll see that and we'll answer it as soon as we can. During the Q&A session, we may invite you on stage where you can come on video and have a live discussion in person. And so we would love to have you jump in and ask your questions in person. We like making this a discussion and not a lecture. So feel free when that time comes to come on stage with me and we'll have a discussion. So we'll start with a poll. Here's the first of two questions for you. First, how do you currently use virtual tours in your everyday work? A, I don't use them at all. B, I use them for occasional reference. C, I use them to document spaces and assets. D, I rely on them for planning and decision making. And E, I'm not even sure what's possible. So we'll give you a quick moment here to answer. All right, good deal. I see we have some who don't use them and some who aren't sure what's possible. And I think that means today's topic is appropriate. So that's great. So the second question here, what's the biggest challenge when managing your facility data today? Is it keeping information organized and in one place? Making sure data is accurate and up to date, accessing information quickly in the field, sharing updates with my team, or all of the above? All right, got some good answers there too. It looks like we're leaning on making sure data is accurate and up to date and accessing information quickly in the field. Those are important factors for sure. All right. Well, let's jump over to the SiteMap platform. We'll start the live demo portion. We'll spend about 5 minutes here, and then we'll jump into our Q&A session. So as you see on the screen here, we have our SiteMap platform, lots of job data from all over the US from the GPRS team. Today, we're going to go to this reality capture panel. This is a great way for you to find any reality capture items that we've collected for you. So this could be virtual tours. It could be point cloud data. It could be 3D models that we've created, and you can filter those by type here. So point clouds, virtual tours, those Revit 3D models, that's a great way to visualize your data. But today we're going to focus on virtual tours. So I'll filter here. And I just want to drive to a couple of these and show you what the capabilities are. The first, let's take a look at this substation. As I click on that panel, the virtual tour details populate. I can see where that facility is. I can see when the data was collected, and I can even interact with it here in the thumbnail, or I can click here and take it to full screen. I also have the ability to look at this in a floor plan view, and we'll just stay in the thumbnail for the moment. We can see all the places where we collected the data. We can zoom in and even see the line work collected here. And so this gives us a great overhead view. And let's try a different example here. We're going to go to an exterior scan here. So this is going to be a similar type project. This was at, I believe, a hospital or an office building. And we should be able to go full screen on this. And we're still not going full screen, but that's okay. We will maybe refresh our browser, because I'd really like to show you this functionality in a full screen view and not in a thumbnail. So we'll go back to our exterior scan. All right, if we're not going to play today, that's fine. We can walk through the site virtually. Even in this thumbnail view, if I need to see some measurements, I should be able to take measurements here. And I should be able to view the floor plan view of the site, which allows me to go in and see the utilities located. I can fly to that location as well. And maybe we should try that. If I fly to that location, you'll see what you're probably used to seeing in GPRS's results here in SiteMap, a view of all the utility lines from the top down that we've located. If you're in the map viewer and you see a site like this, and you see this icon, this is our virtual tour icon. That will actually pull up the virtual tour over in the feature details panel. We can also play that here, and that's how we're going to get to our full screen view today. And that just allows us to walk around the site virtually without having to actually set foot out there. We can zoom in. We can see all of the lines as they're painted out. If I needed to see how far off of the curb line our water line is here, this is where I can go in and take a measurement and just go from the curb over to here. And we have 8 feet 4 inches. I can again go into that floor plan view. We can take measurements from this view as well. So if I needed to see, again, how far it is from this curb to this curb, I know how far it is to my water line. I now know how far it is from the water line to that curb. I have lots of opportunities to measure. And we may take a look at another site here as well, because I want to show you that we can not only do the exterior, but we can do interior sites. So I can find that again in the reality capture panel. Can look at virtual tours here. And if you have a lot of data like this, you can look up individual work order numbers or job names. So this is another example. This is an interior project. And if we fly to the location, pull this off to the side here, you'll see we've done a lot of locating at this facility, but we don't have anything inside the building on SiteMap just yet. We are working on some capabilities to map the interior, but we're not quite there. But if I click here on our virtual tour icon, I can pull up the plant drains. And so we can do the same thing here in an interior space where we're going to virtually walk through the plant. We can see all the paint lines on the ground. We can see all the features and equipment in the space. And it gives us the ability to tour the plant without actually having to visit. And again, GPRS's paint right here. You can see maybe an area of concern here where we painted this out and we want them to do some remediation work there. Maybe the concrete has been damaged, or maybe there's some void activity or something like that happening. We can read depths. And I see a question here from Greg. How accurate are the measurements taken in the virtual tour? They're going to be within inches. So it's great for planning purposes. If we're using Matterport, which is the tool that we use to gather this, it's going to get us within a few inches of accuracy. If we're doing a point cloud collection with a laser scanner, it's going to be even closer. We can be within millimeters in that case. So I think as we've gone through and looked at a floor plan, we've looked at interior and exterior examples of data collection. I'd like to open this up for the last few minutes here for some questions. I want to see if anyone has a question they'd like to ask. Let's see. Any tips for finding specific areas quickly? Thank you for that question. That's a great question. My favorite way is to do what we're doing right now in the floor plan view. If you know your way around the facility fairly well, or you have some kind of an indication of where you need to go, from the floor plan, you can actually click in and fly to a given area really, really quickly. And so that's great if you see something interesting from that floor plan view, like those areas of concern. If I wanted to maybe zoom in over here and see what's in this area, all I have to do is zoom into that area, double click, and it will fly me to that area in the virtual walkthrough. It's a fantastic question. Thanks for asking. Now I think we can go to a little information here from support. Let's go through there. And if you have questions along the way, our SiteMap client success team is ready to help you out. You can reach them at support@sitemap.com. They will help you with troubleshooting. Oh, I see another question here. Do we need a subscription for this feature? No, the virtual tours and reality capture is not something you need a subscription for. That is available to all users with that data in the platform. It is not yet our primary way to convey that information to you. We would probably also email a link to the virtual tour. But if you want that content to be hosted in SiteMap, we can do that upon request. And we are moving towards SiteMap becoming the system of choice for delivery of virtual tours and other reality capture content. So coming soon, that will become the platform of choice, the delivery method of choice. And if you have any additional questions, you want to have more information, you want to schedule a live demo, I would be happy to walk through that with you. My information's here on the screen. Jeff DeHart, Market Segment Leader for Facilities. I would be happy to spend some time with you walking through the features and functions in SiteMap and finding ways for it to serve you. So with that, unless there are any other questions, I can stick around, but if there are no more questions, we'll put this one in the books and look forward to seeing you next time here on Feature Friday.